Hey guys, welcome to another B-Rocks video. If you don't know me, my name is Mark. I am a part-time eBay reseller and Amazon reseller, as well as a teacher and a baseball coach during the day. It's been a while since I've talked about the philosophy behind my reselling or just how I live my life in general as a thrifter. I've outlined 5 points here. I just want to go through these quickly. We've started baseball back. I'm coaching now, as well as, we're back in person in school, and I have my days are long now. You're going to see me do things like this, really outline things out and go through some of these talking points quickly because my time is so much more limited now. So what I want to highlight though are 5 things that I think you should establish as a reseller. And number 1 at the top of my list is the feeling or the thought of contentment. And what does it mean to be content? For myself, I like to think of my wealth on a worldly level, not just what compared to what my neighbors have, or just here in the United States. I look at it on a macro level, not a micro level. And when you understand your wealth on a worldly level, I don't remember where I read this at a few years ago. A lot of people's definition of wealth in the world are you have a roof over your head, you have a vehicle. That doesn't necessarily mean a car. It means a bicycle or maybe even a donkey, but just something that you have to get yourself from point A to point B. Or clean water and 1 meal a day. Those are like the 4 things that were highlighted from a lot of people around the world. And so when you think about that, and I don't know about you, but for myself, I take time each day, whether it's in my car, just turning off the music when I'm driving to and from work, or if I'm at home. I think about stuff like that, about how, how I need to be happy with what I've got, with what we're doing. When I say we, I'm talking about my family, and not compare ourselves to our neighbors and leave ourselves wanting, basically. That also comes with our cars. We buy used cars. It's great advice. It's advice given by a lot of people about how when you buy new and it comes off the lot, it immediately drops so many thousands of dollars in value. And so we buy used vehicles. Now, my Corolla I bought new. That's my work car. I actually, right out of college, I was driving a car that was an old Camry, had 240,000 miles or something like that on it, and I sold it for like $900 and bought a brand new Corolla. Not the best thing to do at the time. I wasn't in the mindset that I am now back then, but I bought that Corolla and I'm still driving it today. I bought that car in 2002 and it's 2021, and it's still my car that I drive today. I upkeep it well as far as the engine and get any necessary repairs that are needed, and I'm comfortable with even driving it long distances today. But it gets great gas mileage. But I have not had a car payment since 2004, because once I got that car, I wanted to pay it off as soon as possible. It was one of the early mindsets that I had in regards to money and trying to eliminate debt. That I did well for myself was I did buy that new car, but I did turn around and I paid it off as soon as possible. The second thing, don't just thrift and resell, but live the life as a thrifter with your clothes. My clothes, my work clothes and my workout clothes, like what you see here, I buy from thrift stores. The hat that you see wearing, my Evo Shield, my trademark hat that you see me wearing, it came from a thrift store. All my work clothes, most of them, I shouldn't say all of them, but most of my work clothes come from a thrift store. I did not buy running shoes in all of 2020 because I got lucky and found a pair of Nikes and a pair of New Balance shoes that were my size. And those are the 2 brands that I like to wear when I run. And, those got me through 2020. Now, as those wore out, I wasn't so lucky to be able to find some before those wore out. So I did end up having to buy new shoes, but it got me through a period of time where I did not have to buy new. I bought those shoes for $4 a piece compared to spending $40-50 at minimum if I got lucky to buy some running shoes on sale for each of those pairs. So it possibly saved me $100 or more by doing that. Bags, like bags that I carry my stuff in for work, backpack, my computer bags, thrift stores. It's better to pay $4 or $5 for computer bags that, people will just, if they get Dell bags or compact bags or whatever from work, they may use them, and then a year or two later their work gives them another one, but they like their old one. They'll just take it to Goodwill and drop it off. My computer bag that I have that's a Dell bag was new with tags. It was likely given to someone, probably by their work, and they just dropped it off because they loved their old bag and it hadn't worn out yet. So live the life as a thrifter. I know I could go a whole lot more into detail than this, but do that. I sell Under Armour and Nike stuff on eBay. Typically, I just wear like the lesser brands, but still quality brands like the Russell Athletic or the Old Navy. Some of their workout gear I do like. You only see me wear this Under Armour shirt, and this is my running shirt sometimes because it had some flaws on it. I think there are a couple of pulled threads on the back. I don't like selling stuff that is flawed, with pulled threads. So I tend to keep these shirts for myself. So if you see me wearing Nike or Under Armour, it's probably because it was it had some kind of flaw with it, a little stain or something that's hard to notice, but I know it's there. The third thing, eliminate debt. You got to have the mindset of trying to eliminate debt as much as possible. My wife and I, we don't have credit cards. My wife was someone who used a credit card before we got married, and she kind of adopted my philosophy with it. But with that said, I understand the credit card does work for some of you, given just the context of things. In our context, credit cards don't work. We don't need them. But people who are traveling for work, or you may have to move often, I understand that there are things, maybe some credit card offers and things like that you get that you can take advantage of. I understand that. I'm not saying credit cards are bad. They just don't work for us. So what we did was we got her credit cards paid off as soon as we could. And we also paid off our house, our 30-year mortgage, in 13 years. I bought this house in 2005, and we paid it off in 2018. And another thing we did with purchasing the house is we made sure to buy exactly like what we needed. We knew that we were probably going to have at least 2 children, and so we ended up buying a house for that. It's around 1,100 square feet, and so we didn't overspend. We bought the house for less than $100,000, and since then our house valuation has gone up about $40,000 to $50,000 since then. But we worked to pay off our debt as soon as possible. About 7 years ago, when I started reselling, literally like all the cash I was getting was going into paying off that house, or our house, as soon as possible. The fourth thing I want you guys to understand is it is okay to work a full-time job or a part-time job while you resell. The whole thought out there nowadays is that you resell so that you could just start working for yourself. I get that. Some people, they just feel they cannot work for somebody else. I understand that. I'm fortunate I have a job that I love, and I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm going to do it till I retire, and then I'll probably resell full-time then, which is in about 7 years. You can have another job or a stream of income that's more stable than what reselling is, whether that's a part-time job or a full-time job. You don't have to see what other people are doing. Again, it comes back to contentment. You don't have to see what other people are doing and go, oh, that's what I want to do, is just work from home. If that is you, and that's absolutely like your dream, and you just can't see yourself working for anybody else, do it. But see, I have a passion. I have a passion in education. I have a passion in coaching, and it works for me. It works for my family. We have that steady income. I have that steady paycheck that comes every 2 weeks. I have the benefits, the retirement, the health insurance for my family. Have something besides reselling, okay? If you're fortunate that you've built up your YouTube channel, or you do build up a YouTube channel to where that becomes almost like a part-time, or heck, for some of you, even a full-time income, you've done it. That's it. But try to have something that is in addition to your reselling, because there are going to be low points in reselling. I've had low points over the last 5 or 6 weeks. They've been steady, but they've been down. So in order to just keep yourself, not so stressed out, feeling at ease with what you're doing, I suggest that you have something else besides reselling. There is a lot of good with reselling, but I promise you, myself and other resellers, we shed light on the good more so than the bad, if we even tell you about the bad things at all. I try to, but I'm a positive person at heart, and I try to keep things positive, and I try to focus on the good, because that's just how I get through life each and every day. So the fifth and final thing, pay yourself in a diverse way. I pointed out that I teach. I don't see that paycheck. My wife manages our savings account and how she divvies that up within the savings account. I know she factors in, she saves for Christmas. We take 1 or 2 trips each year. Some money goes into that. We keep an emergency fund that slowly grows, we just have a lot of different things that what's in that account, it's divided out. But I don't see that. So the money that I use from eBay and Amazon, I take and I divide that up itself. And this is what I'm talking about when I say pay yourself in a diverse way. From your reselling money, pay yourself. I throw a certain amount into our savings each month. I put a certain amount into our son's educational savings account, our ESA account. I put money in my Roth IRA, which is another retirement account I have in addition to my retirement through the school system I work for. And I have some dividend stocks outside of the Roth IRA. I put some money toward cryptocurrency. And I also, with what's left over, put money back into my eBay business, with the exception of if there's something I need, something as simple as running shoes, like I mentioned. I bought some new running shoes lately because I needed some, and so ahead of time I knew I was going to take some money out for that. But so I'll plan ahead of time if I'm going to take money out for myself. I anticipate it, and that way it balances everything else out as needed. But I believe 100% you need to be putting your money in a lot of different things. And here's the beauty of it. Some of you probably cringed when I said cryptocurrency. It's volatile. Any investment has some volatility to it. But some of you are just fearful of cryptocurrency. I understand that. I believe in it. I believe in certain cryptocurrencies, not all of them, but I do believe in a couple of the main ones, and that's not what this video is about, so I'm not going to get into the details of that. Could be a video maybe down the road or something, but I'm willing to take the risk with a certain amount, and here's the thing. That amount could go to zero. The amount that I put toward dividend stocks could go to zero. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Because just like the best advice they give when you invest only with money that you can afford to lose. All right. Now I do want to point out, I know you guys have seen me talk about sports cards lately, and I do invest in sports cards. I consider that money back into my eBay business, because that's what it is. It's, when you hear of me buying sports cards, I have the intentions of flipping those sports cards. I treat those sports cards like I do stock, in the sense of I have some short-term flips that I look for, and some medium to long range, and then some that I just tuck away for further down the road. But anytime you hear me talking about my sports cards, that is considered that part of the money that I put back into my eBay business. All right, so those are 5 things that I feel like you should be doing as a reseller, or things that you got to be thinking about, or reach a place in your mind, especially the contentment part. And because if you can reach a place of contentment, living the life as a thrifter, eliminating debt, deciding on how you want to live your life in regards to being a full-time reseller or a part-time reseller like myself and having another job. And then in the end, paying yourself in a diverse way, that will come, and reaching that place of contentment and being willing to put that money in there and not chasing the things that other people are chasing. The nice brand new cars that just go down in value as soon as you pull off the lot. The absolute best brand new clothes, you know, the big homes that you don't necessarily need. All right. So I hope this helps. If it does, please like and subscribe. Recommend this video to other people if you think that it can help them, especially if they're just starting out with reselling. Appreciate you watching. You guys take care.